figure out what you're good at and then figure out how to teach that. And one of the things that I would encourage to do in that aspect is record yourself doing whatever you do, document it, and then attempt to pass that on to somebody. And if they have a whole bunch of questions, that means that you need to redo what it is that you've given in terms of instructions.
The culture piece is huge, making sure you know whether you're going to hire on skills alone or culture fit as you grow the organization, and then figuring out what kind of leader you're going to be. So are you going to lead by example? Are you going to lead by, writing everything down? Are you going to lead by training? Like, really figure out what your leadership style is, and then you got to figure out how to translate that. So I think you already touched on it a lot, but really understanding like who you are, how you lead, slow down, figure that out, and then figure out how to put that into a different format so that different minds can understand it.
At that age was that you're a thinker. I was like, what are my things? I don't know what that really means. But the older that I got and the more I got, especially once I started a business and got more into my profession, started to realize that, that's actually my strength, is my ability to look at what are very heavy challenges, ones that not only need a level of problem solving, but solutions that will possibly be impactful for years to come. It's different when you can make maybe a decision that might just have an impact for a week or two, but a client to the decisions that we're making really impacts their legacy. So that level of heaviness that comes along with it, but having someone who is not only thinking for potentially that person, but the people who it will impact. So being a thinker is what I realized was my thing, and I think that having a family who very much poured into that and put me in spaces to be able to tap into those skills.
I think a great partnership with somebody that believes in what I believe in, has the same values, the same morals, same everything, because whoever you partner with is an extension of you, right? So you have to remember that. So I think what doesn't work is someone one-sided collaboration. That doesn't work, because then, it's just not a good idea.
Again, it goes back to consistency, and we've been using that word a lot. Authenticity, and also trust. And yes, Kenya Saray writes down everything she's done, Philip, and she has that information from you. And I'm trying to answer the questions because I'm not only visible on social media, but I work for a publicly traded radio station, and I have to be on radio, so we have close to 75,000 people listening at one time, and then you streaming over 1 million people, if you will. So I'm trying to put that in the box, and I'm streaming not only locally, but globally. And then understanding to be on social media as well, to make sure that when my listeners or viewers or followers are asking questions about certain things, I have to make sure that I have the answers, and then I'm online to give them the answers. That's one thing. But I'm also in the nonprofit space. So with the nonprofit space, my nonprofit is broken up into 2 phases. So we have the entry. The entry is, if you've ever seen it, I do send a kid to camp. So we send kids to camp all summer. Then we make sure we provide scholarships for kids that are going off to college, and Christmas, and just basically everything holistically about our teens. But if something happens and our teens fall through the crack, then they'll be on the reentry side, and they might have to go through the correctional facility, and we put them in the housing. So what I do is any information that I have, any new information that comes in through Virginia's General Assembly or Virginia Department of Corrections, and whether it's for the family member or actually the person, I have to make sure I get that information out. So there's no way I cannot be visible on social media or in radio. We have several events that are coming up, and that's what I'm supposed to do. I have that on social media as well. And then I have a daughter who's a musician. And her being a musician, and she's a first-year college student, her major is broadcast journalism. And so she's a reporter now. She applied for that, being a reporter, so she calls me a lot about certain things. Mom, we're having coastal flooding in Hampton. I said, Ann, just put on your galoshes and walk along the shore. She was like, what? Mom, come and get me. No. you want to be a journalist or reporter. So all of that information, I have to tie that in, and then once we have those specific conversations, I bring those to social media as well. But mostly for me, when it comes to social media, it's something that I want to assist with, and so forth.
I know everyone's talking about AI, but if you can learn how to set really good parameters with AI and understand how to leverage the tools of AI, you will be able to move so much faster regardless of the type of business that you're running.
It helps with mentoring, and I think it helps with building each other up to a certain extent. So going back to, I mean, my background is women-owned business, right? And we've just gotten to the table. We've only been invited to the table in the last generation. So there is so much we don't know. There is so much historical information and knowledge that we have just never been privy to. We were never able to be in the room, let alone at the table. So it is through our network, it is through the connections that we make that we build each other up and that we support each other and we mentor each other, because nobody else is going to do it for us.
Storytelling, understanding your why and being able to explain who you are, what you do, why, and why it matters. I think when working with clients, a lot of times they have this great energy, they have these great ideas, but when it comes to that one question, well, tell me about yourself, or why do you do what you do, they kind of freeze up. And I think that's probably one of the most difficult questions in an interview as well, is tell me about yourself. And so I think really being clear on being able to define your why and being able to tell your story. I think that is first and foremost. So before you get on any platform, before you launch any type of campaign, understand why you're doing it and understand exactly how to tell your story with value.
First off, in my head and my notes, it was planned out a year prior. Summer before, launched it in January. Fashion Week took place, a teaser in March, and then after March, the people were like, are you gonna do Fall Fashion Week? So it was already demand there, so began in June, planning for October, which was a great success last week. So the mistakes I've learned is probably is gonna be, a lot of times, it's gonna just be with hiring the right people. Often, I know me, I have a heart of giving opportunity. You know, so I'm like, oh, they got potential, let's work with them.
So I'll tell you, talk to more customers sooner. Before your website looks pretty, before the baby is walking, before anything. Make sure you're solving a problem that somebody will pay you for, and they'll pay you something that makes it worth your while.
Get to know who you have around you, right? So we're hungry to help you guys. Every single day, we're looking to different ways to make your life easier. You need a line of credit, you need a loan, you need an auto loan, whatever the collateral, whatever you're using for, come to see us. Don't wait for us to always, maybe send you commercial information or, on your phone, hey, there's a lot of big banks out there. And there's a lot of community banks like ourselves, the Call Federal Credit Union, right? And there's some other credit unions out there. So get to know your banker. Get to ask questions. What do I need to be successful?